Good morning, guys. Welcome to another video where I'll be talking about Bitcoin. So as always, the video is sponsored by PrimeXBT. PrimeXBT is an online exchange where you can trade all kinds of assets with a single Bitcoin-based account. I will have the link in the description of the video, as well as two promo codes, one for a reduction on your fees and one for a deposit bonus. You can use both, so definitely check those out. Alright, also feel free to subscribe to my channel and like the video, that helps a lot. Okay, so let's get right into Bitcoin. I'll be giving my thoughts again, what I think is going to happen, and the different trades that I'm looking to take, that are worth taking. Keep in mind, it's not because you think something is going to happen that you have to trade it, alright? There are more aspects that need to line up to actually execute a trade. For example, risk reward, if you think it's going to go up but can also come down in here, for example, or sweep the lows once more, well then your risk reward is horrible. So that's just a quick example. So I just marked out two key levels here, which are this range high, which is simply the high that got swept or deviated right here before we saw this downside, and then the low, so this low that got deviated or swept before this upside. Okay, so basically the same but upside down. So what we saw here, right, was basically a deviation above the high, or a sweep above the high, quick retest of range high, and then aggressive downside. Okay, ugly close into supply, dumped lower. Now, one thing I would like to talk about this dump, right, was the fact that we left so much liquidity to the upside. So what do I mean with that? Is if you simply mark out all of the highs that we left to the upside, you're gonna see that it's actually a huge amount right here. Okay, so slow grind down while making lower highs, lower high, lower high, lower high, without taking any liquidity to the upside. We saw exactly the same here. High, 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 and then we saw one last quick impulse, swept the low. So meanwhile, we swept this low, and on the lower time frames, we kind of accelerated. First, we were bleeding, and then we accelerated into this low, took liquidity below the low once more, and then we just massively squeezed to the upside. And the reason we squeezed this hard is basically because of all of this liquidity. Now, let me remove all of those again. Alright, so what am I watching next? So yesterday we had these rumors about that Facebook was going to announce that they were holding Bitcoin, right? Now I was in a scalp initially from here, from here, and I was targeting this high and then liquidity above here, but I closed it after this. And then when we started getting that Facebook rumor, and when you get stuff like this, I don't really want to be scalping Bitcoin, so I didn't take any new trades. Trading news events like that with high volatility is never a good idea in my opinion. We did take quite some liquidity to the upside here, but in my opinion there's definitely a lot left to be swept above and inefficiencies to be filled. So I'm still bullish, to be honest, but of course I could see some downside first. Now, to the downside, we still have some kilos right here, and a key SR or demand or whatever you want to call it at range low, so lining up with this key level range low. So let's mark that out in green, demand, and key highs above here, with supply resting around range high. Okay, so exactly the opposite. So what would be the game plan here? for me personally. If we get some more downsides, sweep the lows into this demand, into range low, and get a strong buyback, long, stop loss. I'd keep my stop loss safe below here. Give it some room, possibly add a little upon confirmation, upon a reclaim of some key levels, like the daily open, the weekly open, stuff like that, and target the highs up here into supply. Okay, so in here and then maybe range high. If we don't get the sweep and leave this liquidity to the downside and just start ripping up again from here, I will definitely be looking for a short hedge around these levels, and then to trade it lower, or simply to get some ranging, right? Make a low, a high, and then if we sweep the low, look, if we get strength here, probably close, and then we're probably gonna be trading towards new highs. But the line in the sand for me for new highs is this supply here, lining up with this key range high level. So yeah, that's basically all I'm watching. Above this, I think we bump to new highs. As long as we're below, we're probably gonna be ranging. The game plan for a long would be a sweep of these lows, then long it to these highs, or yeah, the opposite. Look for wicks into range high, look for a short hedge to trade it lower. If we get below here, below this, so below this range low, and we close a 4-hour, a 12-hour and a daily candle below here, I personally think we'll be accelerating to this low right here at 42k, and we might even get a wick below 40k, so something like this, a quick wick into all of this demand, and that's definitely where I'll be buying the dip. I don't think we'll get much lower than this, so something like this, and then up from there. Alright, so that's basically all I'm watching, taking it easy as always. I hope you enjoyed, I hope you learned something, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers!